you're trying to figure out the best animation software to learn, there's a good chance you're asking the wrong question. Because animation can mean a lot of different things, and depending on what you actually want to make, the right animation software could be completely different. So instead of prescribing one program that you have to learn, I'm going to help you figure out how to choose the right one. The animation software you should learn depends on what you want to create. That probably sounds obvious, but this is animation, and this is animation, and this is animation, and this is animation. All of these fall under the umbrella of animation, but they're usually created in completely different software. I've been working as a motion designer for years, and I still hesitate when people ask me what I do. I almost never say motion design because people don't know what that means, but saying animation causes its own problems. People picture Pixar movies or cartoons for kids, which is very far from what I do. My point is, the terms animation and motion design are very broad and often misunderstood. They don't describe a specific workflow, which makes choosing the best animation software confusing, especially if you're just starting out. So instead of asking what's the best animation software to learn, I think it's more helpful to ask 3 questions about what you want to learn how to create. What does it look like? Where does it live? And what skills do you want to develop? Those answers make the software choice much clearer. At the most basic level, animation just means creating the illusion of movement over time. That can include moving drawings, illustrations, text, or even 3D objects. But sometimes when people say animation, they're actually referring to hand-drawn frame-by-frame animation. Stories told with characters acting in scenes where each frame is drawn by hand. You might hear this called traditional animation, hand-drawn animation, frame-by-frame animation, or even cell animation, a term that comes from early Disney films where characters were drawn on clear plastic sheets called cells and photographed frame by frame. Today, this type of animation is usually done digitally, but the process is similar. You still need strong drawing skills and you're responsible for every frame. If this is the type of work you want to create, think animated shorts, character-driven stories, or YouTube animations. Software like Toon Boom Harmony, Adobe Animate, and Krita are popular choices. TVPaint is another professional-grade option that's especially well known for high-end, hand-drawn animation and is commonly used in studios. Thanks to tools like Procreate and Procreate Dreams, a lot of illustrators have also gotten into animation. Procreate Dreams is interesting because it combines frame-by-frame animation with keyframed animation, which makes it a bit of a hybrid, but it's closest to this hand-drawn category. There are also tools like Grease Pencil and Blender, which let you draw and animate in a 3D space. This can be a great option if you're interested in combining hand-drawn animation with 3D environments, but it comes with a steeper learning curve. Motion design, on the other hand, is about communicating ideas with movement. You could think of motion design as the practice and motion graphics as the result. If this is your job, your title is usually motion designer or motion graphics artist. Motion graphics are often described as animated graphic design, things like shapes, logos, icons, charts, graphs, and text. Kinetic typography is a big part of this, but that definition can be a little bit limiting. In reality, the range of styles that you can create with motion graphics is massive. Motion graphics are commonly used for explainer and educational videos, my specialty, marketing and advertising content, YouTube videos and social media content, brand videos and logo animations, title sequences and on-screen graphics for film and TV, data visualizations and infographics, product demos, and feature walkthroughs. Many motion graphics projects also include illustrated characters, rich environments, and storytelling, just without drawing every single frame by hand. A huge amount of this work is created using Adobe After Effects, which is the industry standard for motion graphics. In After Effects, you can create and then animate shapes and text, or import illustrations from Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop to animate. You can even create basic 3D shapes inside of After Effects, this is new in 2026, or import and animate 3D models from other software. Illustrator graphics are vector-based, which means they can scale infinitely without getting blurry. And you don't need drawing skills to use Illustrator. You can build complex scenes by combining basic shapes. Photoshop artwork is raster-based, meaning it's made of pixels, so scaling has limits, but it's great for textures and a more handmade look. Instead of drawing every frame by hand, motion design usually relies on keyframes. You tell the software what you want something to look like at one moment and what you want it to look like later, and the software fills in the motion in between. If motion graphics and After Effects are sounding like the direction you want to go, I've put together a beginner-friendly course that starts from zero and focuses on practical projects. I'll link it below if you want to check it out. An increasingly popular subcategory of animation is UI and UX animation. After Effects is commonly used to take Figma designs and create prototype animations for apps and websites. It's used to explore motion, timing, and transitions before anything is built for real. Or After Effects can be used to create product videos that showcase how an interface works. But After Effects exports video, it's not interactive. To create animations that actually live inside of apps or websites, tools like Rive are built specifically for that. Rive allows you to create real-time interactive animations that respond to user input. Lottie is another option, and it can work alongside After Effects by converting certain After Effects animations into lightweight files that developers can use in apps and on the web. Hand-drawn animation and motion graphics are often grouped together as 2D animation, mainly to distinguish them from 3D animation. But that doesn't mean that 2D work can't look three-dimensional. You can create the illusion of depth using lighting, shading, perspective, or camera movement. And you can mix 2D and 3D workflows, using 3D models inside of After Effects, or combining 2D animation with fully 3D scenes. The lines here are very blurry. 3D animation involves animating digital objects in a three-dimensional space. This can be used for storytelling, explainer videos, product visuals, games, or film. If this is the direction you want to go, Blender is a popular option because it's free and extremely powerful. Other commonly used tools include Cinema 4D, Maya, and Unreal Engine, depending on the industry and style. 3D animation tends to have the steepest learning curve, but it also gives you a lot of flexibility in what you can create. So to recap, the animation software you should learn depends on what you want your work to look like, where it will live, whether that's YouTube, social media, apps, films, or ads, and what skills you want to develop, whether that's drawing, design, storytelling, educating, or working in 3D space. While it's beyond the scope of this video, you should also consider the environment you want to work in. While some of the examples I've shown throughout this video were done by individuals, many were done by huge teams at agencies or companies. Your first animation software doesn't define your entire career. It's just the tool that gets you moving. And if, after watching this, motion design or explainer style animation feels like the right direction for you, After Effects is a great place to start. Not just because you can create so many different styles of animation, but because the core concepts you'll learn transfer to almost any kind of animation. I've built a beginner-friendly After Effects course around those exact ideas. It takes you from never having opened the software before through a series of short, real-world projects and ends with a multi-scene animation you can use as a portfolio piece. If you're curious, there's a link in the description where you can learn more.